All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Hunter: The Reckoning tonight. We are continuing our chronicle that we started a couple weeks back. This is actually our second play session, as we did have a session 0, and so now we're kind of getting into a second play session. And we ended the last session on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Long has taken a risk and has not rolled a backup character, which is surprising. So we'll see whether or not Alvin makes it out okay. I don't know. But yeah, let's just dive right in. Let's do some intros so we can play, because there's a lot of things we could have fun doing. So Long, we're gonna start with you. Tell us, who are you playing? A little bit about Alvin.
Yeah, I'm playing Alvin Tao, a 38-year-old martial artist, specializes in judo. He's pretty much just focusing on honing his craft. He's got a small family, a wife and a kid, and he's left to join up with these hunters in the hunt of some beast.
Yeah, do you remember what Alvin did that was objectionable to some folks last time
distressing
around?
To some
I might have left the stove on before I left, something like that.
Was it the stove? Yeah. You're gonna
Did
Alvin's
you finish
gonna,
the risotto? Important questions.
Alvin's gonna get back, and he's gonna have to answer some questions for was it DCS? What's the acronym?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
DCS gonna come. This 9-year-old, 8-year-old? How old?
8.
Yeah, she's 8.
Okay. Right off the bat, you're just like, here, Jeff, do something horrible to my family. Okay. Let's see. Next up, let's just keep the left-hand side here. Aaron, tell us about Quixote.
Hey, I'm Aaron, and I'm playing Quixote Rust. At the age of 9, he murdered his entire family. Of course, he was under possession by some sort of creature. He was incarcerated in a facility for the criminally insane. And it's there that the orderlies and nurses actually gave him the name Quixote Rust. Because rust is the color of his eyes, and Quixote, because whenever he was sane enough, he would tell them that we had to band together and fight against the demons. He doesn't actually recall what his real name is. He is a vengeful apostate, a true believer, but a believer in what we don't know. He's you could call a street soldier, because he has no home and never stays in one place for more than a day.
All right. And his one of his buddies was the subject of kind of the start of this campaign or this chronicle. So that'll be fun. Let's see if we can find good old Brock tonight.
Poor Brock Davies. He's a -1 touchstone already.
He's in a predicament that maybe we'll learn about shortly. We'll see. Let's see. Next up, Ashley. Ashley, tell us about Elaine.
I'm Elaine Graves, and you could say I'm a practical woman. I'm 27. I've worked in technology for most of my life, and I've seen things that others haven't, and it has changed the trajectory of my life, you could say.
Okay. Ashley said that she was working on The Voice today and scaring her boyfriend.
I was monologuing and saying some weird shit.
So yeah. I want you to sneak into the I do declare. So, it's gonna.
There
I
might
feel like
be
it's gonna
one. Just
drift.
wait.
It's gonna
Just
come
wait.
in there. I can tell you stories about being.
No, I was thinking more the decrepit, creepy grandmas.
Okay.
That's where I was hardcore there when I was monologuing by myself.
All right. She's too young to be a grandma, though, right? Isn't she?
I know,
she young? Yeah. Okay.
But she grew up with her grandma, and her grandma was a Southern belle.
Okay. And her grandma passed on the grandma voice. It's genetic or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just get Elaine to smoke 2 packs a day. She'll get that grandma voice real fast. It'll get there.
We did establish that Maria and I carry cigarettes.
Okay.
Yes. Do we smoke them? I guess I do.
Okay. Why would you carry them?
You said that you didn't. You said that you knew that they were
Bargaining.
just, But Maria, I went with. She is a smoker.
Okay.
Street smart.
How? Oh my gosh, Melissa, be careful. Oh dear. All right. And then finally, Melissa, tell us about Maria Baum.
Yeah, so she is a blue collar inquisitive. So her day job, she is a plumber. Her She has a mentor who's a journeyman hunter who owns a like a supply company. She's got short reddish hair, wears her work overalls. We established last session that she is a smoker. I immediately spent the XP that I earned last session because her activity during the monsoon is that she was working on her drone, which is now autonomous.
Okay. Do you have a name for your drone? Like, did you give your drone a name? Out of curiosity.
I did not give my drone a name.
Okay. Are you going to now?
I suppose I will, which reminds me, I don't remember what my cat's name was, but I also decided last session on air that I have a cat.
Wow. Melissa's not a good pet.
The cat is named Annie. That's right. It's a orange-haired cat named Annie.
Yeah. I'll write that down. I don't know if I wrote that down. So cat equals Annie. So I know.
Definitely working out the details as we go. Like, does she smoke? Sure.
I think everyone gives me like people to hurt. Like, long as like I'm gonna put a young kid in there and a wife. I'm like, I'll hurt him. It's all fiction. It's fiction. Someone's got to. All right. Let's dive in. Then let's do a quick summary. So our story began with a dust storm. So we are set in the southwest of the U.S. We were specifically in the Phoenix area in Arizona. And so a dust storm was rolling in over the valley. Power outages were sweeping all the cities, the suburbs, etc., residential, commercial, industrial, etc. During this time, we saw little glimpses into the lives of each of these hunters. Alvin was cooking risotto for his daughter while his wife was stuck in traffic. Elaine, you had a little bit of a run-in with some looters. And then you went home and you helped out your neighbor, Mr. Ponder. I don't remember, does Mr. Ponder have kids or anything like that? Or
he does, but they're shitty.
They're shitty. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Maria, you were messing around with some weather tracking software and working on your drone. Quixote was actually doing an investigation into a librarian over at ASU. But unfortunately, that investigation was cut short by a frantic call from one of his touchdowns, Brock Davies, a manager of a homeless shelter in downtown Southern Phoenix, Central City area. Brock was very scared and panicked and mentioned seeing something inhuman while he was looking for a shelter regular by the name of Shelby. So the group of you got together really fast. Alvin left his daughter home alone during a blackout in a dust storm. And then you all went down to the shelter to start. You figured that was a good place to start. You start speaking with some of the other homeless folks there, and you learned that people had been going missing, and that Brock was looking into it. Shelby was likely a pilot of some kind, like a vet, a homeless vet, unfortunately. Also, that you learned that Brock had was trying to communicate with like one of the local cops in Emerson, Villafranco, but basically they weren't giving him the time of day. You learned that he was also in contact with a company called Valley MedCorp, which is some sort of like medicine on wheels mobile clinic that was offering like checkups and vaccines and stuff to homeless folks in the area. I think you have a business card, which I put, by the way. I actually made one of these. This is what happens. I get excited and I start making silly. So I made a. I'll switch over really quick so folks. So nice. I made a. Oh, it's not working. I can fix that. So I made a business card for old Wendell Drebin. Let's see if I can make this work out. There we go. That should probably do it. So yeah, I made a little business card for Wendell Drebin. But you gave him a call, but unfortunately you were unable to get him, as is also kind of late at night when this is all happening. So you're not necessarily going to be able to get everybody. What else? So also, what else did we do? Checking my notes.
Train station.
Yeah, you all got some leads on where Shelby might have been staying. One of those places was a train station, which is where you eventually kind of went and kind of took a look at. There were a few others, and while you were there, you found a shack that had like some strange drawings and stuff in it, like these really violent drawings. And then you, I think it was Alvin who saw the security dog that was running free from like the security guard. And when Alvin went to go and take a look, I think you climbed up on the train car. Everyone else was a little bit lagging, a little bit behind you. I think you were out in front. I remember Quixote was taking kind of a flanking angle. He was kind of going around, and I think Maria and Elaine were following underneath Alvin, but Alvin is ahead. And Alvin, as you looked down, you saw the dog handler on the ground, but there was another figure on top of him that when they turned to look at you, they dropped this kind of heavy jacket, and you saw it was almost like a mummy, except instead of cloth, it was just like wraps of skin. And there were just so many eyeballs that were peeking out between the seams. And that's exactly where we're going to pick up right on that, as I think we're going to dive into combat probably for the first time. Does that sound right?
This seems like a bad idea.
Okay.
I love it. Let's get crazy.
So that is the situation. So this is our first conflict in Hunter, so we're going to go through it slow to make sure we kind of get this right. There's no straight up initiative, so to speak. So what I'm going to say is right now the situation is that Alvin, you're looking down from atop on this train car. You're relatively close to this creature who's looking up at you, eyeballs starting to mix and shift, and you can see them moving about, and suddenly pieces of the skin begin to open. Roll a willpower test here, difficulty of 2. The rest of you are, I don't think you're privy yet to anything. Okay.
0 success.
Take 2 points of superficial willpower damage, which when you take superficial willpower, you have it before you record it, and so you're only actually taking 1. So go ahead and just click once on your willpower, basically. You get a single slash across the box. Okay. So then you are the only one, and so like this is just basically like you have fought stuff before. Like everyone's here has had some kind of encounter with the supernatural, but this is foreign and disgusting and just aberrant and strange. So you basically tell me what you want to do, and I'm going to say the rest of you are at a distance. Elaine and Maria, you can see him up on the train car, but you can't necessarily see what he sees. Quixote, you're taking a wide berth. Again, you can kind of see him up on the train car, but you can't quite see what he's looking at, what's happening to him. So you all tell me what you want to do. And then we roll some dice depending on what you want to do. And that's it. It's pretty easy peasy. So, Alvin, you're right up there. So why don't we say we start with you? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I'll take a look at my surroundings, see how close my allies are, and I'll notice that they're a bit
back.
away.
They're a little bit back, yeah.
So
now we're not aware that this is actually the supernatural encounter at this point. Correct?
The 3 of you aren't. Alvin is. Yeah. The 3 of you are unaware of this yet.
So I'll keep my distance from this creature as best as possible, and pretty much just observe its movements and see how it acts.
Okay. So you can see that it is, as you're watching from above, I'll just give you this little extra bit. You can see that it has like one of its hands is just kind of right on top of the face of this security guard, and you can see that there's blood as well. You can't. It doesn't look like he's dead. You can see the legs are moving and stuff like that, and you can hear kind of a moaning happening as well. So you know he's alive, but there's like a hand that's over top of the guy's face. But this creature is now aware of you, so there's a decent likelihood that it might come up the train towards you. So you just want to keep your distance. You don't want to engage it.
Right, and if I can some sort of like flashlight or like a signal that I can start turning on and off, just a signal.
I think that's fair. There's no roll necessary, so you just start kind of doing some sort of shorthand. You all work together. Maybe there's a shorthand, danger or something like that. Sure. Okay. We'll go to the rest of you then. So Alvin, there's nothing in particular you need to roll just yet. Quixote, Elaine, Maria, what do you want to do now that we'll say that the light's going off as well?
So Rust will see that light going off, see that danger signal going off, and he considers himself a soldier in this quiet war against the supernatural. So he's gonna charge in at the figure because that's just who he is.
Okay.
And as he's going in, he's brandishing his hand at it to deny its existence.
Okay, so you're doing the repel.
He's going to try to repel it. Yep.
Okay. All right. And then Elaine and Maria, what are you doing? Basically, you declare actions, and then we kind of go and we do rolls, and we kind of like narrate the, what happens. So Elaine and Maria.
I'm guessing spending pretty much this action just getting closer.
Okay, so you just want to run up, get
Yeah.
close. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I will pull my weapon out.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so in that case, no rolls yet, except for Quixote. Quixote, you specifically want to use your repel the unnatural edge. Okay, you want to go ahead and just explain what that is to folks?
Yeah. So what it is it's a perk. It's kind of like a supernatural perk, and what it is when he approaches a supernatural creature, it kind of like in the classic vampire films, when you present the cross at a vampire, they can't approach any closer. They can't engage you in combat. It holds them at bay. And what it looks like, so Quixote comes up and you see in the palm of his hand the spiraling scars or perhaps brands that are in a weird script, Enochian. And it's not like anything changes, but it almost looks like it becomes more in focus. As he gets close, he goes, "I deny you, unnatural thing." And then the power ripples out, hopefully.
All right,
It's
this
a
could
cult
be
plus resolve.
difficulty of, we'll call this 4.
Oh,
You can get the
And
stats here.
since this is a direct confrontation with the supernatural, which is within his creed, I will go ahead and use our 1 desperation
Yes.
dice.
You're currently at desperation level 1, or despair, I should say 1.
And we
So
will,
there's 2 different trackers. Desperation's one of them. Potentially can give them bonus dice if it falls within their field. This fits for Quixote. Okay,
Oh.
that's a fail. However, you can spend willpower to re-roll 3 die if you wanted to do that. So you can burn.
I
take
will
some-
burn a point of willpower
Yeah.
and re-roll 3 die.
I don't know if there's a re-roll function
There
in
is.
the system.
There is. Yep.
Okay. Haven't messed with that yet. Okay. Got an extra success. So what we'll describe this as is as you're walking up, and you're since you were flanking it, you're kind of coming up from behind, whereas Alvin's above, right? And so we'll treat it like, say that Alvin, its head is kind of twisted and turned and is sort of kind of staring upwards. And you can see that there's a pile of just clothes on the ground, and all you see is this almost like a naked mummy standing before you. But as you get closer, Quixote, you notice that on the back you can see eyes begin to shift and move, and on its back begin to open here and here by the shoulder blades, down by the small of its back, as 4 eyes open up, and you can tell it sees you as you get close. Why don't you make a willpower save now for me, or willpower roll? Same thing.
Quixote screams out, "It's a demon!" He doesn't know that, but he thinks it is.
All right, and you're fine. You steel yourself. You have it out. You're not yet sure if your repel action has had any kind of effect on it. This thing, however, is it's staring up at Alvin. Quixote, Alvin, and Elaine and Maria, who are running up the side of this train, and now you can actually see it, we'll say, as well. So why don't the 2 of you roll that willpower as well? So everyone can now see it. Everyone's aware. We're on the same page. Everyone's made their dice so fancy.
Holy.
Oh, okay, Melissa. You can save some successes
Wow.
for other people.
I know, right?
All right. So I think Elaine, 1 point, superficial. Okay. So you all watch then as this thing, seeing you all beginning to kind of close in on it, its hand wrenches free from the guy's head, and you just hear, "Ah, what the?" Ah! And then this thing, with speed that is unnatural to any bipedal creature, and with this graceful agility, scrambles up the train car and is going to lunge at Alvin. at this point. So Alvin, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your brawl, as it's going to try to lunge at you, and like you can see these long, like thin arms, eyeballs popping up here and there on the bicep area and the forearm. Like there's just dozens of them just covering this entire body as it tries to just grapple you. And so this is one of those contested things. So go ahead and roll that, and I'll do the same. Actually, I'm not going to roll. I'm going to do like the shorthand stuff. So I'll give you a difficulty in 1 sec. Yeah, it's going to be difficulty of 4. Okay.
Success.
So this thing lunges out at you, and it's 4 to 4, so like no damage is going to go either way, but you're able to just stiff arm it just as it's reaching forward, and it kind of, as it comes up to you with great speed, shifts back. Kind of, you feel your hand just kind of shift down into its sternum, like you can, like it almost gives ever so slightly, and you watch as like squirting out. Like either side of your hand, you see these eyeballs begin to pop up, and as they're just kind of moving about. And so now what we have is we have Alvin and this creature on top of the train car together. The three of you are on the floor, or on the ground. This man is laying on the ground, screaming in like shock and horror. What would you all like to do?
Using its momentum towards me, I'm just gonna do a quick grapple and take him off the top rope here.
Okay. So you want to try to like literally tackle him off the train car?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. I like it. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Let's see. Quixote, what do you want to do?
So Quixote would stop short because he's a little stunned that this thing was able to just move away from him like that. So he would probably hold because he doesn't think he can get up there that quickly. Yeah, I think he doesn't actually know how to approach this situation. So he's down there by this man, not really looking him over because he just considers him a fallen soldier in the war. But he's just standing there trying to figure out how to handle the situation. So basically, he's just holding.
All right, Elaine and Maria, what do you want to do? You're at the base of the train. This thing just with ease of like a cat climbing up a tree, just skirted right up it without any effort. What would you two like to do?
I think Elaine would try and make sure that this guy is alive.
Okay.
I know he's yelling, but maybe he has a life-threatening injury.
Okay. So you're gonna kneel down, kind of take a look. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Maria?
Can I try to help Alvin, maybe kind of in the physical, maybe like a strength athletics kind of a thing?
So he's on top of the train. You're at the base of the train. So I'm not sure. Like, if you can think of a way that makes sense, let me know. But I'm not sure right there that you would have to probably get up there first to give him a hand.
Yeah. So then that's what I'll look for,
Okay.
like a way to climb up.
Okay. So yeah. So we'll say you're climbing up that. All right. So Elaine, it sounds like you can probably just roll like a what's it called, medicine if you want to kneel down, and we'll say medicine. This is medicine intelligence. And do you have training in this?
That's a
Medicine intelligence or wits. I don't really care either one. Whatever one you prefer. Maria, go ahead and give us a athletics test. Strength or dex, I don't care which.
Okay.
Alvin, you are going to be rolling your brawl versus, I'll tell you a difficulty in 1 sec. You're going to be rolling against a difficulty of 5.
All right.
What was my difficulty, Jeff?
I
can do basic first aid, basically.
I'll say just roll a flat, and the more successes you get, the more information you'll get.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I re-roll any of those?
You can you can take willpower damage to re-roll 3 die.
I will try that.
Hey, Bird, how's it going?
Oops, that was not it. Or is it?
It rolled 4.
Oh, he rolled willpower.
I just rolled
Yeah,
willpower.
will-
Oops. How do you roll? I know Aaron did it.
If you right click on your failed test, it should pull up an option for you to re-roll. You spend willpower to re-roll.
Yeah, I see it there. Nice. Just right-click on one of the die. Okay, 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay, so
That's 6.
what I'm going to say is, we'll handle that in a second. Elaine, when you're kneeling down and you're looking at this guy, the first thing you notice is that there's this smudge of blood against the side of it, against the side of the train. Like it looks like right up against the sort of the wheels themselves, and you don't think that he has. It doesn't look like his head has been like bashed in or anything. It just looks like he just kind of fell into it, and you can turn his head around ever so slightly, and you can see like he's taken a wound, definitely a concussion, might need some stitches back there. But as you rotate his head, you notice that he has no eyes.
Okay, yeah, that was a concern.
But the thing is when you're sitting here looking at this, you notice that it's not that his eyes have been like he's bleeding from sockets or something. They're just gone. It looks like he's never had eyes to begin with. Like the indentation on the either side of the nose is just smooth skin, and it doesn't look like it's been stitched. It doesn't look like anything has ever been there, and they're just completely gone. And you can hear him he's like, I can't see, why can't I see? And he's screaming really, really loud at this point. Maria, how'd you do on your athletics?
I failed.
Okay.
1 success.
1 success is not a fail. This is one of those things where I'm just going to say it takes you a little longer. That's all. Like if you would have gotten 2, you would have gotten up there pretty fast. 1, it's sort of like a slow thing. And as you're coming up, you notice as Alvin, you said you wanted to tackle this thing off of it, right? Okay. So you, as it sort of stumbles towards you and tries to wrap these long arms around you, you step out of the way. You kind of stiff arm it for a second. It stumbles back, and you take that stumble to just tackle it right off the train. Both of you fall. I'm gonna say it's gonna take the it's gonna take the difference in like what you rolled versus what the difficulty was. So it's gonna take 1 point of damage. But I'm going to give it another point of damage because of the fall. But I think you're also going to take that point of damage for the fall as well. So it's going to take 2. You're going to take 1 from the fall. But it's down on the ground now at this point. Okay.
Maria's like, damn, I was just climbing up as they go like falling.
Okay.
Just like pile drive down on top of it.
Right.
All right. So, the other thing is Elaine, he's screaming so loud, you hear voices coming from the sort of where the platform was, where their dog was running off to the central building hub for this security for this train yard. You hear voices, like they're kind of shouting out. At first, it's kind of quiet, but then you hear, Sean, you okay over there, Sean? And you look over and you can see there's a handful of people. It looks like 3 people. The dog's kind of coming along. They got flashlights out. They're coming in your direction. And so Alvin and this creature are rolling around on the ground. Quixote, you're there. You see them fall. Elaine, you're tending to the man. Maria, you've climbed up like halfway this train car. What do you all want to do?
Quixote would again attempt to repel this thing.
Okay. Same difficulty as before.
He's like, you can't fail me now, you bastard. He pushes his hand forward.
Okay, and then Alvin, Elaine, Maria, what are you all doing?
While I'm on top of him, I'll just start maybe jabbing and poking at any eyes I see.
Okay. All right, you start jabbing and poking at the eyes. Okay, you're specifically stabbing the eyes. Okay, I like it. Do you have a knife, or are you just like doing it with your hands?
Fist, hands, yeah.
Okay, so you're just like smashing the eyes. Okay, you can feel that it's trying to wriggle free, like it's trying to get out from under you. Like it's wiry and it's moving extraordinarily. Like it's very, you can tell that it's hard for you to kind of keep the grasp of this thing. Maria and Elaine, what are you two doing?
Maria's gonna try to jump down now that she was like climbing up a little bit, and then they went down, so she's gonna try to jump down on top of both of them.
Are you going to do the people's elbow? Are you going to drop down?
Sure.
Okay. Nice. I like it. And then Elaine, what do you want to do?
I want to try and calm this guy down.
You want to try to calm him down? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. That's probably going to be, I would think persuasion.
That's what I was thinking.
Charisma, maybe. Manipulation, I think, could potentially work too. Okay, everyone go ahead, roll your die. Elaine will say 2 difficulty for you.
Okay.
Maria, you're going against anyone who's attacking it or doing anything to it. So Alvin and Maria, your difficulty is going to be 7.
Oh my gosh.
And then
Do we
Quixote,
get any benefit from the fact that we're both doing it?
your difficulty is the same as last time.
I am using the desperation dice again.
Okay, right on. That's fine. Okay, that you're both doing it. I would say that because it's squirming so much, I feel like it would actually be kind of difficult for you to like pinpoint your. But I'll give you. We'll say take a +1, Maria, since it's kind of pinned. I don't think that's going to help. I don't think you flopping down on it's going to help Alvin though. But I'll give Maria the 1 since it's more of a.
That's not gonna.
5 successes.
Nice.
I'm going to go ahead and. Oh no. Okay, I was writing the wrong one. 6 successes. Okay.
Yeah,
you
failed.
succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fail.
So it's held at bay and can't attack physically.
Yeah.
It can defend itself.
Yeah, it can't attack you physically.
Right,
I think
right.
it can still attack others.
Oh yeah. It just can't move towards me.
Yeah. Okay. So let's walk through this. We'll start with Elaine. That's the easiest one. How'd you do, Elaine?
I passed. I got 2.
Okay. And you just hear him just start, instead of screaming, he's just starting to whimper now. Like, why can't I see?
I just need you to breathe. I don't know what the fuck this thing is, but you need to calm down. You do not want its attention on you.
What is? I can't see anything. And he's no longer screaming at the top of his legs, at the top of his lungs. Doesn't change the fact that there are still people coming this direction, but because he's not making as much noise, they might not get here like as quickly. Like it might take them an extra moment to find you. But there's a lot of noise happening nonetheless as people are shouting. There's fighting. So it's a matter of time. Maria, you drop down. Alvin, you're poking away.
My elbow, I just like bang it on the ground as I'm trying to like aim it at him.
As this is all happening, Quixote, you've got your hand out. You're kind of trying to command this thing. Alvin, Maria, Alvin, you're punching and trying to hit these eyes, but every time you go to swing at an eye, you watch it just almost comically just shift away, and your hand just hits flesh. And as you realize that it's just like all this one wrap of flesh. It's not cloth. It is very much skin. Maria, you land, and right as you do, it slips out from underneath of Alvin, and your elbow just slams down to the ground. All of you watch as it turns away from Quixote, and with immense speed, just almost like twice as fast as any of you can run, just begins running back in the direction of that shack, away from you, away from Quixote. So it's not getting anywhere closer, but you can see it's beginning to flee. But its movements far defy anything a human can do. What do you all want to do now? As you got the guy on the ground, you got these security folks that are approaching. This thing is running, and it's running extraordinarily fast.
Quixote would chase it towards the shack because it's a war to him, and he's not letting an enemy go.
All right, Quixote's going. Rest of you.
Elaine just whispers to him, "Your friends are coming, but I gotta go," and she's gonna follow.
Okay. All right.
Maria's same.
Yeah, I'll do
I'm
that as well.
whispering, but Maria's running after.
Okay. Since all of you are running, everyone go ahead and do an athletics, we'll say stamina, as you try to chase this thing. And we'll say this is one of those things where higher you do is going to change the narration a bit. So don't worry about a specific difficulty.
2 for Maria.
Okay.
Ooh, Alvin.
4.
All right. I mean, Maria and Quixote, I mean, all 4 of you give chase. And you see
Yeah.
it run back towards the shack, but it doesn't go into the shack. It just, almost like it's doing a simple hurdle, just reaches those long, gangly arms, grabs the edge, lifts itself up onto the shack, and then you see it just launch itself off of the shack over the fence that kind of encompasses the yard, lands on the other side. Quixote and Maria, you kind of start to slow down at that point as you're trying to climb up and over the fence, but you're getting caught in the climb. Alvin and Elaine, you launch over without a whole lot of difficulty. The 2 of you just climb up and hop. By the time you hop down on the other side, you turn to look. This thing it's outpaced you now even further. It's like almost 100 yards away. You can barely see it. There's occasional like street lights and stuff that are popping up. Alvin, you're the one that's keeping with it the longest, but you're running full out, and you're running with speed that even Elaine you probably have to be impressed with. But you watch as it just continues and continues to outpace you, and at one point you watch it begin to climb up this street lamp, get on top of one of these power lines, and just runs across the power line like it's some sort of squirrel, climbs up onto a building, and is just lost into the night. And by that point, Alvin and Elaine, you're a couple hundred yards away from the train yard, and you're huffing and puffing. Your skin is sweating, but there's no way you can keep up with it on foot. Like, that's how fast this thing was moving.
Okay.
Now, all of you have left that train yard area, and so you look back, and you can hear Elaine Maria and Quixote. Will say the 2 of you are the furthest back. You can hear like the sounds of like the security guards. Like, oh my god, what the hell? Oh my god, what the hell happened to you? And then you start to hear the sounds of like people spreading out and be like, you got to text someone, spread out. There's someone here. These guys find them. And you can tell that like they're starting to like kind of fan out a bit, but you also hear them like you also hear another one on the phone like 911. One of our guys got attacked. There's somebody down. We're at the NSBW rail yard. One of our guys is died. He's missing eyes. His eyes. Someone took his eyes. And like this panic this panic shouting into the phone as the 4 of you are kind of scattered, but you're outside of the rail yard itself. What do you want to do?
I need to get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Just trying to get distance and not be seen.
Okay. Quixote, give me an awareness test. Difficulty of, we'll call it 1. It's fine.
Awareness against wits or...
Wits is fine, sure. Okay. As you all are leaving, and like you're trying, like you all parked a little bit of ways. You didn't park in the actual parking lot of the rail yard station. You're taking a wide berth, kind of beginning to come back around, and you notice that on the south side of the parking lot, this large parking lot for this rail yard, you notice the car for Brock. His car is kind of parked in this kind of crappy old car is parked right there in the parking lot. And not only that, but you hear the sounds of like shouting from somewhere else, like somewhere like down one of these alleyways between these big old industrial buildings that kind of flank around the yard.
Well, Quixote would, if he believes that is potentially Brock, regardless, he would run towards that alleyway.
Okay. Alvin, Elaine, Maria, you see Quixote just break into a sprint in the direction of what sounds like kind of people shouting.
Maria trusts his kind of street knowledge, so if that's where he's going, then Maria would follow.
Yeah, I'll also keep pace, catch up to him.
Okay.
Yeah, Lane will kind of trail behind, but she's following.
Okay. You all are trailing behind, but you come up and you can see, like, as you enter into this, it's a very dark alley. You can tell that it's between what looks like these, there's this definitely the industrial area of the of Central City area, right? But you can also tell that it's becoming increasingly commercial. So you're between what looks like these large supply stores. It's probably par for the course for you, Maria. But you do notice that there's, like, you hear like this cackling coming from down the alleyway.
Get him! Look at him! Look at this! He's a piece of shit!
And then you hear thump, thump, and you look and you can see that there are 3 people at the end of the alley. Like, there's what looks like this very faint light coming from the end of the alley where, like, there was probably the like a storefront sign, and they're just like roughing up someone on the ground.
Is
What would you
Quixote
like to do?
out front?
Oh yeah, he's infuriated the fact that they lost this creature, and he's afraid for Brock. So he would just let out this yell, and he's just a brawler. So he goes in elbows and fists. He's like, "Get off him!" and just launches.
Okay. So you guys watch as Quixote runs in, launches himself at these 3. And as, like, you get closer and you launch yourself, you see them kind of turn towards you as you scream. And they have these like faces that are just a little deranged. Like, you can tell they're tweaking on something, like, really, really hard. And you can see that like their eyes are like these extraordinarily bright. They've got, like, their clothes are kind of torn and ripped here and there, as if they've gotten into these fights before. I'll show you a little picture there for y'all. I messed around with this. As you see a handful of these people, and as you look at them, you can tell their eyes are just like this kind of bright, like, bloodshot, as Quixote launches into them. What do the rest of you do as you watch Quixote come up?
Elaine just kind of like swears under her breath, like, "Oh, no breaks today." She's gonna head on in.
Okay. All right, Quixote, as you launch yourself at them, one of them turns around and it's like,
Another contender! Ah!
and just kind of just sort of lunges at you as well. So go ahead and roll whatever it is you would normally roll for an attack, or a brawl, like whatever it is you think you're doing in terms of, like, pushing, shoving, punching, stabbing.
Yeah, no, he's just throwing a hard elbow, hopefully across this individual's throat.
Sounds like a brawl.
Yeah, brawl strength, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that sounds good. And this one's gonna be a difficulty of 3, I think. Yeah, 3.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Hey.
So you got 3 successes. So so do you have any extra damage on top of the fist? Okay.
Nope.
So I think because there's no extra damage, and I think since the difficulty is essentially matched, because I think damage is differential, is margin of difference.
Yep, it is.
And so in this case, I feel like it's just you two, like, you exchange a couple, like, you land the punch, but it doesn't necessarily land on its head. And maybe it gets him in the shoulder or something like that, and it kind of throws him off balance, and he kind of throws one back at you. Nothing is really going to sustain any major damage. But there's 2 others here as well.
Now, when I moved into the fray, could I tell if the guy they're beating up on the ground is Brock?
Yeah, you notice that there's everyone who works at that kind of the homeless shelter. Like, they have, like, these matching, like, polos, like these polo shirts and stuff, and you can tell, although the body is laying face down, and, like, this kind of grimy runoff. It's not like rain puddle. It's like runoff from one of these, like because you're in an alleyway. There's a dumpster nearby, and it's face down in it. But you can tell it has the same coloring as the homeless shelter. Okay, Alvin or Elaine, as you see Quixote throw himself into this fight, what do the 3 of you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna run in and tell Quixote, just get him out of here. Hold him off. It's pretty much getting between them.
Okay. Do you want to roll, like, an intimidate or something?
Or throw a punch at one of them or something?
Intimidate. I mean, I can flip one of these guys and
That'll
get out of here.
All right, so you want to go up and try to just do the same thing, just shove one of them completely off his ass. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, go ahead and roll your normal. Get difficulty 3 is fine. Elaine, Maria, as you're watching this happen.
Maria kind of wants to go kind of in a similar direction, not quite intimidate, but kind of just that, just kind of going up and talking to them, just seeing if she can sort of just like kind of talk her way around.
Nice.
You guys have had your fun. Come on, let's go. And just trying to see if she can kind of herd them to like kind of take the party elsewhere.
Okay, so if you're just trying to persuade, that's going to have, I think, a higher difficulty here. They seem clearly out of their, high off their gourd right now. So I'm going to say,
Understood.
If you're trying to just like persuade them like that, difficulty of 4, I think. Elaine, what are you doing?
If they're all kind of keeping them occupied, Elaine's gonna try and grab Brock, maybe by like underneath his shoulders or like in his armpits, and just drag him out.
Okay, so Quixote runs up, gets into a fist fight with one of them. Alvin comes running up right behind, getting Quixote's back. That's 5 successes, so that's gonna do basically 2 points of superficial damage because you're using your fists. And so you just come up. Do you just do like a hard cold cock of one of them, or do you do some sort of? I know you have a dojo. Do you do some sort of special judo move or anything?
Yeah, just grab him from behind and just pretty much flip him head over heels.
So you just grab him and just do the, and he just kind of flops down, slams down to that same kind of grime in the ground, and as you land, he's just like this sort of like Joker-like derangement. Elaine, you take this opportunity. No roll required, I think, for this one, as everyone's kind of confused. And you just start dragging the body out that was getting beat out from underneath it. Maria, they just, like, one of them just kind of looks at you, like their head kind of turning, and you can see they reach into their, like, they're reaching into, like, looks like a jacket pocket, and they're, like, pulling out, like, this, what looks like a knife of some kind, like one of these switchblades that they're struggling with. You can see that they've got this like brightly colored kind of wristband on, and they've got some kind of stamp on their hand. And they look ready to stab you.
Okay. I did succeed, by the way. I re-rolled the 3 that I didn't, so that was a re-roll, so I should have 4 total successes.
Okay. I'll say that with you have 4 successes?
Yeah, because it was 2. I re-rolled the 3 blanks and then got 2 more.
What I'll say is, with 4 on the dot, the one that Alvin, right as Alvin flips,
I'll see you soon,
and just kind of rolls over and just scatters away. Quixote's still kind of locked up with one. The other one who stepped towards you with the knife doesn't seem to be listening to your logic. So one of them flees. Okay. But there's still one now with a knife. Elaine, you pull the body away, you kind of roll it over, and you can see, just like the security guard, eyes gone. Quixote, as you look out of the corner of your eye, you see the face of Brock beaten. You can see he's got some mud and some blood on him, but you can tell, like, that's his jawline, and you can see that his eyes are, like, are his eyes closed, or his eyes not there. So I'm going to say a couple of things that are going to happen. We're going to kick Despair up 1-1. This is some bad stuff that's happening, so we'll say Despair is up to 2. I'm gonna also say Quixote specifically. Once you roll willpower as seeing like your friend here in this horrible state, we'll say difficulty 2 is fine.
Got 3 successes.
All right, yeah, you keep your cool. Okay, so then now one of them's got a knife. Quixote, you're locked in with the other one. Alvin, you forced one of them to flee. Maria kind of shouting them off. What do you all want to do in this situation?
And we get no indication that these guys are anything other than drugged out humans.
They just look tweaked as can be. Yeah.
Quixote's going to do the only. I mean, like I said, he's not a trained fighter in any way. I mean, he spent most of his life in a institute for the criminally insane. So he is literally just relying on body mechanics and strength, and he is just trying to beat this guy into submission.
Okay. All right, same difficulty as before. Alvin, do you want to go after one specifically?
I prefer if we could leave with Brock, so I'll try to just pretty much break this up, get out of here.
Okay. Describe how you're doing that.
If I see this knife being pulled out, maybe I think it's gone a bit too far.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just try to back up, just start leaving.
Okay. Just start to back down the alley. Okay. Maria or Elaine. Elaine will say you have Brock if you want to carry him or drag him or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So you and Alvin.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say you and Alvin start backing up. Alvin, you're kind of like giving her cover as she does that. Quixote is still kind of going at it with this one guy. Maria, what are you doing?
I think I want to try to help Elaine because I'm thinking like that's kind of our goal is to get Brock out of here. And if we start leaving, like maybe, this last one will just kind of want to join their
All
friends.
right.
So I'm going to expedite our exit.
So I think a couple things are going to happen. First, Quixote, how'd your roll go?
Oh, I failed. I got 2 successes out of 3. So I think he's flailing. He's like, how could you beat a man when he's down? And he's completely unsuccessful.
And you just take probably a lucky, he just wails around. Like, these are just wild haymakers that are coming in your direction. You're able to kind of block and duck under them, but then one of them just catches you right in the jaw. And superficial damage, it's not going to kill you or anything like that, but just take a point of superficial damage. Mm-hmm. Maria, as you go to help Elaine, the one with the knife lunges at you. So you're going to roll... you can roll dodge if you like, or if you can. This is a couple different ways to do this. If you wanted to roll dodge, it's fine. If you wanted to kind of roll, if you wanted to fight back, like you could choose to do that instead. But it is going to be a difficulty of 3. So basically, what I do is instead of I'm trying to not roll that many dice as a GM and just kind of go by some flat stuff, and then in certain situations I roll like a D10 to maybe vary it. But in this case, I'm not. So Maria, it's lunging after you with this knife.
Got
so
it.
You gotta, you either roll. So you're either rolling dodge. You can roll brawl if you don't have any weapons on you. You can roll melee because in Hunter it's contest, it's conflict, and it's up in your business.
Okay. So melee, I'd have to have something out.
Yeah. Melee is a weapon. Brawl is unarmed. But you can also just roll dodge. But if you roll dodge, you can't do damage back. That's the only difference.
Yeah. And so dodge is...
It should be, I think it's...
athletics and dexterity.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gosh. All right. I'm going to get cut here.
Yeah, knives are aggravated, too.
Oh, no. This is bad. This is going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Okay.
Yep.
So as Maria, you shout a very reasonable, like, come on, we've had enough. One of them gets up and goes, and maybe you think, like, you kind of turn too quickly and you don't realize. And as you go down to, like, help Elaine, this guy just lunges at you and just cuts you. And you feel, like, right along, like, your side towards your back, you just feel it cut into you. And that's, I think that's going to be 3 + 1.
Like, she wears overalls, so I'm imagining it's sort of that, like, gap area.
I think it's
Get the
4
overalls
points of
inside.
damage, actually, because it's a differential
Nice.
plus the knife on top of it.
Yep.
So I think it's 4
Of aggravated damage.
of aggravated as they
my
they
gosh.
stab you right in the ribs.
Should I spend a willpower to try to re-roll that dodge?
It'll certainly mitigate
affect the
some of the
differential.
damage. It'll certainly
Yeah.
mitigate some of
Let's
the damage.
do Well, maybe it will. We'll see.
No, even if you get 1 success, it'll mitigate.
Well, I'm just saying I have to roll 1 success. Hey, I
There you
got
go.
2.
2 points of physical damage, or 2 points
That's
of aggravation.
way better. Instead of taking all of my health, it
Yeah.
only takes
Okay.
2/5.
All right, so now you've got this. You're trying, as Alvin and Elaine and Maria are trying to take Brock out of here. This one other tweaker just lunges out and stabs Maria right in the ribs. Quixote, you're still in your fight. How do you handle this? How do you all want to do this?
I'm gonna go up to the guy that lunged at Maria, grab him by the arm, pretty much just armbar him until he drops the knife.
Okay, sounds good. It'll be a brawl roll when we're ready. Quixote, you're going to still go after this one?
Yeah, I mean, he's blinded with rage at this point, seeing one of his only friends horribly disfigured. He's basically lost it.
Okay. And then Elaine, is there anything you want to do differently? Now, I mean, you've dragged him. It doesn't look like Brock's in any immediate danger. It looks like the person who's in the most immediate danger is Maria. Is there anything in particular you wanted to do?
If Alvin gets that one guy armbarred, Elaine's gonna try and knock him out.
Okay. Well, it's all kind of happens sort of at the same time. It's sort of
yeah. So she'll go after that guy. She'll see Elaine get stabbed, and she'll set Brock down, and she's like, "Oh fuck you," and head on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then Maria, what do you want to do?
Maria is going to. I'm trying to think of how quickly she would be able to do this. She did have a gun that she had kind of put away, so I think she's going to try to pull that out to hit him with it, to switch it to a melee instead of a brawl.
Yeah, you're going to try to
threaten him with
it. Bullcock him.
I like
you got
it.
Intimidate.
Okay. So let's everybody do our rolls. Alvin, you've got your brawl. Quixote, you got your brawl. Elaine, brawl, and Maria, melee. So I'm going to say everybody that's on the one guy, go ahead and take an extra point, an extra die for that. And then Quixote, you're just straight up 1v1ing.
3 successes.
Oh my god!
That's a lot of successes.
Wow.
Dear
Oh
Lord.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a special.
Finally.
I don't even get a hit because
You don't.
Alvin just knocks him out.
So Long, please describe what you just did with 11 successes against this guy, which is going to very much knock him out or kill him if you prefer. But I think you're doing knockout damage. It's judo. So describe what this looks like.
Yeah, lunges are pretty easy to catch. So his arm's extended. He's off balance. I just go straight for the arm.
Okay.
Just drop down with all my weight on it.
And then at a certain point, maybe there's a crack.
Off the shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily like a broken
dislocation,
bone.
maybe.
Dislocation,
Exactly.
yep.
And then you just kind of smash him into the dumpster, and he just collapses. Knocked out. Quixote with 5 successes. Describe how you knock the guy out. You can go ahead and.
So Quixote, he gets a lucky shot. He comes in with his right, and he hits him in the ear and grabs the ear and just yanks it off the side of his head and sends him into shock.
Beautiful. Okay. And so now one of them has ran away. 2 of them are laying on the ground. And you've got, they're both knocked out, unconscious. You can see them kind of rolling around. One of them, the one that Quixote is kind of rolling around for a bit, but you can tell he's out. The one that Alvin knocked out is just out cold, to the point where you almost check his pulse for a second.
Put him in the dumpster. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So you guys just want to do that? You actually want to put them? All right, yeah. Dump them in the dumpster. That's fine. So you pick them up, throw them in. As you're doing, you see their clothes are sort of ripped apart here, and you can tell they've been clubbing recently. You can see an empty dime bag falls out of their pockets at one point, just right to the ground, and then you just drop them inside.
One of the things Quixote would look at when they were dropping them in is the wristband and the club that they went to. Because they were all obviously tweaking on something that made them crazy. So maybe that's something we need to look into too.
Yeah, you notice a logo on it's the same thing that's on it's on the stamp of their the back of their hands, and you can, so as you take a look at it, it's a little smudgy because of the sweat and everything, but you can still kind of tell it. But it's like a flame, and then on the front it's FRVR. Is anybody here decent at Streetwise?
I'm okay at it.
What's half of your Streetwise?
Just half my Streetwise is 1.
Okay. You would know this. 1's fine. You would know this is a club. This is a club to the east called Fervor. So FRV, it's FRVR all caps, but it's basically Fervor is what it stands for. It's I don't know whether or not Quixote would have gone there, how much you would know. But more, it's just kind of
He probably wouldn't know much because, I mean, he wouldn't be the clubbing type. He would have only heard from other people on the street about it. So anything that would have been common knowledge.
You would know it as it's a relatively popular club, but it's one of those clubs that is more of like in the know type of thing. It's not necessarily it's for people of certain circles, essentially, as opposed to just like anyone showing up. Okay, so you've got Brock. He seems like he's been knocked out. He's breathing, but he's taken a bunch of beatings. It looks like, but it does look like he's alive. His eyes are missing. We'll say that you can get, as you start to hear cops, sirens start coming up, but you're able to, without a whole lot of difficulty, make it back to your car with Brock in tow. You're kind of having to carry him, you got him over his shoulder or something like that, and you make it back. And so we'll say, do we just leave the train yard at this point?
Yeah, I was thinking we'd probably bring him back to his car and like have somebody drive his car.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
So we can take his car and the van back.
We'll say there's enough time for that. There's enough time, but as you're leaving, you can see the cops are starting to show up in response to what was happening inside the train yard. And we'll say this whole situation this passes. Where's the meetup? Where are we meeting up next?
Who's going to drive Brock's car?
Oh, I can drive it.
Okay, Alvin will go. All right.
Alvin, you got to take him to the hospital. I can't be seen. I can't be seen on security cameras in the hospital. But you got to take him to the hospital.
Does he look like he needs hospital?
He's missing both his eyes.
Okay.
And he's taking several contusions, and he's bleeding from. If what you saw with the creature, likely that most of these contusions and bruises are coming from him just kind of getting picked on and beaten up by those the dudes in the alley. But yeah, he's going to need some stitches for sure.
All right.
And then this eye stuff is weird.
I can do a drive-by to the nearest emergency room and then meet back up at the shelter.
Yeah, a bit to the east, there's Valleywise. I think there's Valleywise Health Medical Center is the closest probably you can drive to. So maybe
that's fine.
A 10-minute drive.
Elaine, can I borrow your phone?
Yeah. What do you need?
I want to call the shelter and tell them where Brock's going to be, so they can go over there and stay with them.
Okay.
He can't be alone. He can't wake up like that alone.
Does he have like a friend in particular who he would call, or?
Yeah. There's some of the other volunteers at the shelter. I mean, they love Brock. Somebody will go over and sit with him.
Okay.
We gotta be square with him. He's a good man. He doesn't deserve what's happening to him. He doesn't know anything about the war.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll say, we'll work through that. That's fine. Alvin, do you like? Obviously, it's an emergency room situation for sure. We don't necessarily have to play it all out, but when they see him, they're gonna ask questions about this eye thing. So my question is, do you just kind of drop him off and get out of there, or what do you do?
I don't want the police to be involved, so when the police start coming, that's when I'll start backing up. So I'll drop him off and give him like a rundown. I found him like this. That's about it.
Elaine, before you go, here, go ahead.
I was just gonna be with him and try to do like a BS roll.
Elaine,
oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Suggest maybe take him nearby and set him down in a corner and call 911. Hey, there's this dude passed out on the corner. But it's up to you guys.
Do you say that in front of Quixote, or do you do that?
You got to take him right to the hospital. You can't leave him on the... I'll take him. It doesn't matter. I'll go.
Do you know how to answer those questions?
I don't care.
His eyes are missing.
It doesn't matter.
He's
got to go to the
matter.
hospital.
We'll do a little bit of both. I'm pretty good at just BSing folks, so we'll do a little bit of both. I'll just say we found him on the side of the road. Thought we should drop him off, but we don't know anything more than that. Will that work? A little bit of both.
Thanks, Maria. He's almost all I got in the world.
Well,
That's perfect. Yeah, thank you, Maria. That'll work. You could do it. I know you could do it.
So I'll drive to the hospital and drop Maria and him off nearby, and I'll wait.
Okay. Maria, you go inside.
Elaine's not down with this.
With Brock, and they go. Like the intake comes to check. Take a look at him. Like, what in the? What the hell happened to this guy? You can roll first. We were just talking about it before we came on stream. Why don't you roll first, and then
I'll
we'll
roll
see
first.
What you're saying.
So I've got my nonstop BS for persuasion and
to get your bonus die for that. I think that makes sense. There's also you're also
charisma,
at desperation
manipulation.
too, by the way.
Yeah.
Does this fit what your creed is? Your creed field?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
never mind.
my creed field is research, breaking and entering, interrogation.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
none
this
of these
doesn't
things.
apply. Okay.
Can we say it's composure and persuasion?
Sure, I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Keeping it cool. I think it's more manipulation, but it's fun.
Composure
You
and
can do it.
so I can do a desperation dice or no?
No, you can't use desperation die. You can take. I'll let you do composure. That's fine.
Okay. Oh, roll well, please.
Okay.
3 successes.
Okay. Sure. This is one of those situations where I'm gonna keep the difficulty hidden.
Sure. So how do we regain willpower? Because I'm trying to see how judicious I should.
A couple
be
different
with
ways.
my willpower.
It could just be time, but also achieving your drive during the course of a session. You can regain some next time.
Okay, so
and
beginning
then
of
it's
session, remove a number of superficial equal to composure or resolve, and I've got 4 composure, so I can spend.
Not right now. It's not.
Well, no, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like beginning of next session, I'd be able to spend. So I will spend a willpower.
Yeah, and there's also other ones that like it just if enough time has passed in certain situations,
Right.
It's,
I will
sort of
reroll
GMT out a little bit.
3 of those to see if I can get more successes, since I don't know the success
Okay.
threshold.
Oh,
And I
crap.
got nothing more. Damn it!
Okay. So the other thing, by the way, is don't forget that you can always do in situations like this when we're not in like combat or like chase sequences. If you ever want to do like take half as well, that's like the other thing you can think about doing. Is like that's why I was asking.
Oh,
That's another option.
because that would have
so-
given me 4.
Yeah, too late. Well, actually, I think take half is specifically the skill. Let me double check.
Cut your
Or
dice
maybe
pool in half.
It's just it's dice pool, so yeah, I guess it
Yep.
would be both. Yeah, it would be both. Okay,
Yeah, that would have just been a 4 then.
that's fine. That's fine.
And can we say that I took like a rag or something that I've got? I have a 2 health stab wound, so can we say that I like wrapped that first before?
Oh,
walking in?
Maybe
you're
admit yourself.
there.
Bleeding out the side.
Right.
Yeah. Well, after you're done with him, can you check this out?
I
You were
think
like,
it's my
Not
kidneys
related
outside.
at all. Nothing to do with each other.
this guy was getting jumped, and I tried to save him, and I got stabbed.
Okay.
That's a
Are you? So you're trying to hide the fact that you have a wound. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am.
I mean, that sounds like a subterfuge thing, but I think I'll keep it like as long as you can give me like what's your subterfuge? We'll say I don't know. We could do wits or dex.
Whatever.
Wits for quick thinking, I guess, could apply here. Subterfuge, quick thinking.
3.
Yeah, that's fine because half of that would be 1. I'll take it. That's fine. So we'll say that's easy enough. That's you just you put like an extra jacket on or something like that or whatever. So what do you say to them? Like, when you talk with your 3 successes? Like, what's the excuse that you give?
So I go in and I'm going to have grabbed like and maybe this is stretching a little too far because it wasn't a success, but like maybe I grabbed like a ball cap from the van and put it over his head, kind of covering his face a
You
little
got
bit.
3 successes. You can...
And just kind of walk in and just be like, tweakers are out tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on, but this guy's just sitting on the curb. There's a whole crew of them, and like I guess he, I don't know, said the wrong thing to him, and they all just took off and left him, and I just felt like I just couldn't leave him there. So I'm kind of trying to keep the hat low so they don't immediately notice the whole eye situation.
Okay. At the mention of like there being like, tweakers are out tonight, like they say, you ain't kidding. And like they do like a little motion of their head, and you can see that the emergency room is filled to the brim as you come in. But you're like, the situation with Brock kind of accelerates him towards the front a bit. Not necessarily number 1, because he doesn't necessarily have any life-threatening injuries, but he's got some serious ones. But you can tell that there are people that are like, they're vomiting in the middle of like you can tell that they're coming down from something. You can see that others are like holding what looks like, rags to their foreheads, like they're covering these welts on their heads, and some are bleeding. You see others are kind of in the corner and kind of banging their heads against the wall here and there. And there's a more than average amount of security around, actually. But you do see, like, you do see that the person you're talking to, she doesn't really take too, she doesn't look at you too long and hard. She's like, well, yeah, good Samaritan award for you tonight, I guess. If you want to sit down, we'll come get you. And, all right. And then, what the? Oh, and she looks up at you. What happened to his eyes?
I don't know. What do you mean? He's got a ball cap on it. I didn't even really look at his face.
That they kind of like.
He was slumped over. I just kind of threw him in the back of the car. He was still slumped over.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean? What happened to his eyes?
Well, look, he isn't like his eyes.
Oh my God, that's horrific. What the hell is in these trucks nowadays? Oh my God.
Cox, you think drugs made his eyes disappear?
I don't know. Words, just words.
All right. Have a seat. All right, just have a seat. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure the cops are going to want to ask you some questions. Just hang tight. And hey, Frank, she brought someone in. When you get a sec, mugging victim or something, and you can tell like there's a looks like there's a security officer like down there, cop, something like that, kind of talking to a couple of people at the end. And you just say, yeah, I'll be right there. 1 sec. And then they take Brock back, and you have a moment before the cop kind of comes over. Do you wait? Do you just take this moment to flee? What do you want to do?
I am built for bullshitting and talking, so I feel like my skills are staying and not raising suspicion. Okay,
well, they're gonna come over at that point. We'll roll. We don't have to do a re-roll. We'll roll over your 3 successes from unless you're changing the story. I mean, I'm assuming you're keeping the same story.
Yeah, same story.
Okay, and so they're gonna take roll. I'll tell you what. Roll an insight. Let's call it wits. Roll and do an actual roll on this, unless you wanted to take half.
I've got 5, so that would give me 2.
So I think it would be 2. I think it rolls down. I think it rounds down.
Rolls
so you can
down.
either take 2, or you can take a 2 success on this. And again, this is one of those, like, I'm not going to tell you the difficulty on these. Or you can roll.
Oh, I'll roll. Rolling's more
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Hey, 4 successes.
Nice.
You tell him the story. This dude in, uniform, writing it down. You notice that he doesn't pause at all. Like he doesn't. You don't see him like hesitate, which is kind of strange because like when the doctor, who the intake doctor, and the nurse that kind of was like right next to the bed for like the stretcher for Brock, they both were like, what the hell? He seems relatively composed, actually. And he's like, all right, good to know. Thank you for being a good Samaritan. I'm sure they're gonna give this man excellent care here. They do good work here. All right.
Good to hear. Looks like you got a busy night tonight.
Yeah, power outages and dust storms. Everyone's losing their minds. You know how it is.
I born and raised, but this is a new level of stuff, it seems. But you're busy.
Yeah. You have a good night, ma'am.
You as well.
Careful on the roads.
See my eyes.
As you walk out, you overhear as he kind of pulls out a cell phone as you're walking out, and he kind of moves off to the side a little bit, and you hear him just say, "Yeah, we got another one." Yeah, they brought him right, here. Yeah, okay, no problem. And then they kind of closes up their flip phone and puts it back in their pocket. He's got a flip phone. And then you're out. While this was happening, were Elaine or Alvin or Quixote doing anything of note? It's okay to say no. I just want to give you the opportunity.
No, I'll just wait in the car. Wait for Maria to come back.
Sounds good. Quixote shaking his head.
Yeah, after Quixote makes that phone call back to the back to the shelter, that's it. He's just waiting.
Okay, Elaine, anything in
Elaine
particular?
really wants to get home to her computer and do some real work.
You want to just head home? I think most of you drove, separately. I think Quixote got picked up by one of you, and the rest drove separately.
Because Quixote cannot drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say Quixote and Alvin are probably together. Brock's car is my guess. Maria's got her van or her work van or something like that, and then Elaine, you got your own car. So Elaine, you go home.
Yeah.
Okay, it is late, by the way. It is like midnight, 1 a.m. at this point because you all searched for a bit and then this happened. The rest of you are going back to the shelter.
And Maria's going to ask Quixote, what should we do with Brock's car?
I maybe just leave it here and put the keys under the mat or something, and I'll tell them at the shelter that they can pick his car up when they come.
That works.
Is he settled in okay, Maria? Are you going to take care of him?
I think so, but I kind of didn't get a good feeling from the security that they had, because as soon as he didn't, not to try to make a joke, but he didn't bat an eye at Brock's appearance, and he called somebody to say that there was another one. So he knows something about this people not having eyes business.
Goddamn Quislings. They're all in it. They're all in it together against us. These damn humans who help these things out. We got to get back in there. We can't let him have Brock.
I think at this point it's gonna do more harm than good. Trying to go back in there. It's busy. There's a lot of security in there.
All right. Well, you can just leave me here. I'll wait for somebody from the shelter to come. Yeah.
So I'll hang out with Quixote a little bit, and while we're waiting, I'm gonna try to give Katja a call. Because saw some shit, never seen it before. Want to reach out to another hunter and see if I can get her on the line, see if she knows anything about this.
Okay. You call her phone And it's late. It's around 1, give or take. And you get familiar voicemail. And the message is it's Katya. I've been picturing Katya as it's kind of like a gruff woman. Is that fair? I know you say she. Yeah. Okay. All right. Because I've been thinking of her as like the female Bobby from Supernatural is sort of like the way I'm envisioning it. And you hear her voice, like her gruff voice, come on. Plus, I just like doing old lady voices. Like, I'm not here. You know what to do. Beep. And just like that.
It's me. Where the hell are you? Like, I mean, I know you got stuff going on sometimes, but I mean, when I shouldn't have to call you 3-4 times to get a damn call back. Like, what the hell is up? I need you to call me back. There's some shit. Check your damn messages. She'll hang up.
Okay.
While Maria's on the phone, Quixote slips away and goes into the hospital.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay. Alvin, what are you doing before we get into the whole hospital stuff?
I think I'm just gonna get my bike here and drive home. It's late.
Okay.
We got Brock back. If something happens, I guess they'll give me a go.
You, when you get on your bike, you notice that you have like a dozen missed calls on your phone. You can see that they're all the first half are from your probably your house phone or your home phone, whatever Celie would be able to use, and or if she has her own phone maybe, and the second half are from your wife. And when you you check the messages, the initial ones from your daughter are expressions of concern. She's scared. She's like, "Daddy, I think there's somebody outside trying to get in. I think I heard somebody outside the window." And then like it kind of continues to escalate after that. Like, someone was knocking on the door. Mom's still not home and you're not answering. I don't know. Should I answer it? I'm confused. And then like it kind of keeps going on. And then eventually your wife gets on the phone. "Alvin, what the fuck is wrong with you? You left our child." And then it's just a series of a very long rant that she has to stop, hang up, and then continue and pick up on. But from what you can tell, your daughter she's okay, but she was very scared, and it took your wife a little bit longer to get home, and you're in some shit when you get back there. Okay. And then Elaine, you were heading home, right? Okay. All right. So then,
Elaine, do you have medicine?
I've got one. So I know basic first aid, basically.
Can you do anything about my stab wound?
You probably should have got treated when you were in the hospital.
Okay.
But yeah, I can check it out if you come on over.
Hospitalization takes a number of weeks equal to the total aggravated damage, and I took 2. So I'm not looking to be in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Oh, God. I thought it was going to be Alvin who needed to reroll a character. Who knew it was going to be Maria?
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
It is a course of a night kind of a thing. So it is kind of your choice. Like if you feel like spending the night trying to stitch up my...
Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, the stitching itself doesn't take very long, but like it's the idea of like you get stitched and you don't just go running right back in the battle or something like that. Like there is that like, okay, let it take root and you put your feet up or something like that kind of deal. Or you take
I got a spare bedroom.
Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so difficulty 2, intelligence medicine.
Medicine.
Yay.
That's exactly what I need.
All right, perfect. Okay.
All right, so then success converts aggravated to superficial to a maximum of half the character's medicine rating rounded up. So your medicine rating was how much?
1.
All right.
So you can convert 1, it sounds like. Okay, so we'll say that happens at Elaine's place. Alvin's on his way home, possibly about to get divorced. Quixote, you went back to the hospital. You arrive. By the time you get over there, as
he's pulled up the hood on his Baja sweatshirt and walks in.
Yeah, it takes a little longer for you to get there because you're on foot now. So it takes a little longer. So we'll say 45 minutes or something like that, and maybe a little less. But you get over there, and so at this point they would have probably had Brock for about an hour and a half or so, maybe an hour or something like that. And Yeah, you get there. Like, how do you want to go about? So you got the hood up. You're trying to. So how do you want to go about doing this? Walk me through.
So he walks up to the front desk. He's like, a friend of mine, Brock Davies, the manager over at the homeless shelter, was brought in here about an hour ago. We were out looking for another one of the. I'm a volunteer, and we were out looking for one of the missing street people, a girl named Shelby, and we got jumped, and we got separated, and some woman picked Brock up and brought him over here. I couldn't catch her car until she was leaving, but she told me she brought him here. I want to see my friend.
Well, that is a very interesting story, young man. However, your friend is taking good care of him. We will. I'm sure we'll be in contact with his emergency contact. Which and what was your name again?
My name?
Yes.
His name is Brock Davies. We were looking for Shelby.
Is your name isn't Shelby?
No. My name is Tom Black.
Tom Black. Well, Tom, all I can really tell you, are you a relative?
No, we're volunteers. The rest of the volunteers from the shelter are on their way over too. We'll wait here.
Right. Why don't you go ahead and there's some room, and she's like kind of pointing towards like where a few. Why don't you just wait here, and we'll have someone come out and speak with you. There's
right. Where did you take him though?
Well, he's being looked at right now.
But where?
In the back. In he's in the emergency room. I can't divulge too much information here, unfortunately, as you are not his emergency contact, nor are you a relative. So there are privacy laws at work here.
Right. Okay, so we'll wait here. We're gonna do some social media posts about this and make sure that people understand that Brock is here because he's a beloved member of the community.
Okay. Well, that sounds. I'm sure. I'm sure people will be glad to hear that he's okay.
Right. And who were your name?
Me? Oh, my name is Sandy.
Nice to meet you, Sandy.
Yes.
Brock is going to really appreciate all the care you're giving him, and so do I.
Okay, Tom. Mr. Black. Again.
You can call me Tom.
Okay, Tom.
Nobody calls me Mr. Black.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and have a seat?
Wait, where's your restroom at?
Oh, sure. It's right down that hall. It's 2:00 in the morning. It's probably not in the greatest shape right now. But right down that hall, on your left.
Of course, he's going to try to sneak into the back of the hospital.
You start moving, and you can tell like she's already kind of like on the phone, and at this point, like you're not sure if she's calling back regarding you or whatever. But you want to try to sneak. You want to try to sneak into the like sort of the back of the yard. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, this is straight up stealth. I think I don't see any stealth decks probably.
Please, Dice God, be with me.
And this will be a contested. We'll call this a. Well, actually, it's stealth, so we'll keep it. I'll give you a number. We'll just make it 2. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
What you needed.
You do one of those like you're walking down, kind of looking over your shoulder. You wait until she looks away or until somebody else comes up, and she's sort of distracted, and then you kind of cut down a hallway like perpendicular just before the bathroom. You wander around a little bit. People are, it's busy. Like it was a weird night in Phoenix, and there's a lot of car accidents that came, happen, muggings, power went out. So there's all sorts of these accidents that are people coming in. So it's a fairly hectic thing, and doesn't really seem like once you get past a certain point in the hospital, it kind of feels like no one's really stopping you at this point, unless you go into like really restricted areas. And that's kind of what happens, is that you just sort of blend in with the chaos at a certain point, and you kind of wander about. Why don't you go ahead and roll, or you can take half if you want, like an awareness test as you're navigating the halls a bit.
Okay. Would that be like awareness wits?
Yeah, I think wits would be perfect.
Okay, so taking half would be 2 for me.
Okay. So 2 is fine. I think 2 is enough to 2 is enough to find his room, or to find out some information. Why don't you roll, and
Sure.
and see if you get a little higher than that. If not, we'll just default it to 2 in this case.
Got 100 bits.
Okay, you're keeping track of that, right? I'm not doing that. Thanks, John.
Yes, now I am.
You got your complication earlier.
I got a
Jeff,
complication
right?
earlier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we'll take the 2.
Okay. So yeah, I saw the complication. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why I pulled the knife out. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. The timing might have been off. Okay. So you're moving about, and you're able to essentially find like what looks like they're not rooms so much as they are kind of cordoned off areas, in sort of the trauma section, right? And you're moving by, and you're kind of looking at names here and then. There's other people. Like there's officers and stuff going around here and there. Some people that are kind of getting talked to. But you do notice, by the way, as you get up towards where you think it's Brock, you kind of look at a distance. Maybe you pass by first, and then you kind of come back. You look on like a little chart or a number. You see B. Davies, kind of written in, and you notice that there are a couple guys in uniform kind of around his bed.
Is there any place that I can kind of hunker down and listen to see if I can pick up anything they're saying or observe them unobtrusively?
It's pretty busy, so it's less about hiding and more about just kind of blending in, I would say. So maybe you just kind of try to blend in with a crowd of other people who are waiting around for this or that. Sneak behind a curtain. We'll say that with 2 successes, you hear them talking. If they're already like halfway through a conversation, but you basically hear them talking about how they're gonna want to see this one too. I don't know, man. It's beyond my pay grade. I don't answer those questions. It's just that's all the job. We patrol the area, and if something like this pops up, then we take it to him. That's it. But this doesn't look like. I mean, this dude's got. I mean, look at him. This isn't some random guy. This isn't some random homeless guy. This is someone's gonna miss this guy. Okay. And like they're kind of going back. It's like, but we gotta take him. We can't just let this guy go out, and the doc's gonna want to see this. They're all gonna want to see this. I don't know. I don't know what We're paid to do a job, and that's what we do. Okay, all right, soldier. And at that point, you hear them kind of call out to one of these, one of the sort of the nurses or people kind of attending. It's like, ma'am, we're gonna need to transport this man. We've got his condition. Well, I can't really disclose too much. Is he stable? Because he can be stable for transport. And so you see this whole conversation takes out, and they kind of fight back and forth. But by the end, they're getting ready to transport him. Like it's not immediate, but they're getting ready to transport him.
So Quixote goes around the corner and he's like, "Oh my God, there's so many people in the waiting room without eyes. What is going on here?" Notice you gotta help. They're just flooding in the doors.
Okay. So with that, a bunch of things are going to happen. You definitely see that a couple of the guys in uniform, like they kind of look over towards you and like, let's go. Man, go. It's just one of them freaking dust junkies. Just go. I don't know. Go take care of it. I'll keep an eye on it.
Officer, no. It's just like this guy here. They're just walking in through the doors. Okay. There's people bringing them in. They got no eyes.
All right, man. All right. I think you've had enough for tonight. Okay. I think it's just
sober.
Go find a dark corner and just listen.
Oh, wait a
Right.
second. That's Brock Davies. He runs the homeless shelter. Hey,
Sure.
don't worry. We already told. We already contacted the shelter about him. All of them are coming over. It's all over the social media.
You see them
So
kinda-
good that you officers, and he looks very pointedly at their name tags, are making sure that he's safe here in this hospital. And he
Hey.
pulls out his burner. He's like, he's here. He's back here with
Okay,
all the
all
other
right, all
homeless
right,
people.
all right. Okay. Listen, enough. These people are trying to get some rest here. They've had a rough night. Just not make it any
What's
worse.
these two officers?
All right,
are
why don't you
keeping
just
him
come with
safe.
us? And you see, like, they all just start to kind of escort you out at this point. Okay, all right. And you can tell that they were exchanging glances, and they start kind of escorting you out at this point. Like, I don't know what you're trying to pull, kid.
Hey, by the way, if you're supporting the supernatural bullshit going on around here, I got your names down. If Brock disappears, the real soldiers will be looking in on you.
Supernatural. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You
think people's eyes just disappear? He had 2 eyes earlier today.
All right, man. That's it. You're out of here. Okay, enough. This is disturbing the peace. Whatever. I don't know whatever. Come on, let's go.
I got your names now, and I heard you were trying to illegally remove him from a hospital. It's going to be all over the news by the morning.
Yeah. Who are they gonna believe? They're gonna believe 3 upstanding citizens. Or they're gonna believe you, buddy. Someone
We'll
walking
see.
around screaming at the top lungs. Okay, all right. We already
See.
got the. Oh, look at the nurses. They're all looking at you right now like you're crazy. Just get
That's
out of here
fine.
before
That's
you get
fine.
hurt.
Oh, now you're threatening to physical violence against a non-violent person?
Okay, that's
police
that.
brutality. I got it now. I understand.
And then you
Thin
can
blue
see
line my ass.
one of them roll actually a let's see, you would be able to probably notice this. Roll and you can do
He
insight,
annoyed
you
the
do
crap out of
awareness.
them, roll.
Oh no, he succeeded. This is just awareness and insight. I'll take either of those if you want. And this will be wits again, I think.
I'll
Okay.
I'll spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of those. I think this is important. Come on.
Okay, it's 2. Okay, so they're escorting you out, and so you're going through they all left him, and the one that's talking to you is like out in front. The other, you can overhear the 2 in the back, like, we can't take him now. He just freaking screamed like no, I'll check with the doc and we'll see what they say. Okay, just get this guy out of here before he draws any more attention than we already need. He kind of gets you up towards a car, and you realize like they haven't cuffed you, and they take you over to a vehicle, and you realize it's not a cop car. And you also realize as you're looking around, like, they look like cops, but as you're close, you realize they're not cops. Like, you don't actually see a City of Phoenix badge anywhere. And they get you up to this car, and you can see, like, you're out in the parking lot, and there's people coming and going here and there, but you're out in the parking lot, and you can see on the side of this vehicle, it's a security vehicle. It's definitely, but it's private security. It says lockroom control on the side. And you can see, like, let's just take him down here, but let's just get this kid out of here. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing him, and I don't know, too much heat on this other one. And so they're kind of, one of them's got their hand on you, but the rest of the other 2 are kind of talking, and they're about to put you in what looks like a private security car. What would you like to do?
So I'm going to try to break free and run like hell.
Okay. Yeah. This sounds like brawl.
Can I make a case for dexterity instead of strength? Because I'm trying to
I think that makes
split.
sense. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Brawl dex and...
I mean, my dex is worse than my strength, but I think it makes more sense.
Yeah. And we'll put the difficulty at 2, as they kind of are a little distracted with their conversation. Not really taking you too seriously, as there's 3 of them.
Thank God.
Oh, good roll. And so, like you
Great
can see he's got one hand on your, like on your bicep, and he's going to, right as he goes to like reach and grab the door and pull it open, that's when you just take the door and just sort of shove it between him, and he kind of lets you go, and you just go and turn. It's like, God, fuck, get him, and then you can hear like them kind of yelling at each other, like, you son of a bitch, what the and they you better get back here, kid. You don't want this kind of trouble. You don't want this kind of heat. And they're just running.
Quixote's yelling out of the top of his lungs, "They're not cops! They're security for the man!"
And you can see there's a handful of folks, as we are playing in modern day, who suddenly get their phones out and are filming this happen. Like, hey, what are you doing to that kid? You leave that kid alone. And you get a couple of, even this late at night, it's been a crazy night. And you can see it, like they all kind of start looking at they look at each other, and they see you running. You're running like a bat out of hell. And at a certain point, like you turn around after you've been running for a while. You don't think they're chasing you. You are a couple blocks away, and you're gone.
So Quixote does then pull out his burner phone and call the shelter, and gets Fee on the line, who's the assistant manager, and he's like, "They got Brock over at the hospital, but
I know.
No, you don't know. There's something really wrong with him, and some private security goons were trying to take him away from the hospital. You got to get all the volunteers down there, and you got to get on social media, and you got to make a stink, or Brock is going to disappear. Something weird's going on at that hospital. They wouldn't let me take him out."
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, okay, I'll get a couple. What?
Just make a big stink. You gotta make.
Okay, I'll put it on the Twitter page. Okay, jeez. Okay.
You know Brock would do it for you.
You're right. I know. All right. Why would they?
He got hurt trying to find Shelby. We couldn't find her. He's messed up and he needs.
All right. They called me. I'm his emergency contact. I'm getting ready now. I'll be down there in a few minutes. I'll get a couple other people. All right. He's gonna be fine. We'll call you in the morning.
All right. Don't call me on this phone. I'll get in contact with you. And then Brock breaks his burner and tosses it.
Okay. All right. So the rest of you went back to your homes. A couple of you were healing. Do we want to move forward into the morning, or is there other things that people wanted to do?
Unless we want to RP Alvin's fight when he gets home, I'm good to
I kind of want to. Door opens, a pot of risotto comes flying through the air, hits him right in the head. Okay.
I did want to start trolling and seeing if they're, like, in the area where we were, if there's any open access security cameras that I could gain access to, and just start trolling through footage to see if I can see the creature anywhere.
Okay, so you want to try to get into... Okay.
So, like, if people have, like,
Public
unprotected...
cams.
Yeah, like...
Well, some of it was probably... you have to probably be on site for it, but there probably are things like traffic cams and stuff that you might be able to try to tap into. Yeah, we'll do something. Let's say... I mean, if you're getting into, like... So you knew where you were. There's the rail yard, but where you were in the rail yard didn't really have any cams. The platform
It's more
did.
so, like, the way that it was running. So, like, she'll try and, like...
Okay.
Maybe, like, a mile out or whatever.
We'll say challenging. 4 successes. We'll say tech. Intelligence, I think. It's probably the best for this.
Okay. Said 4. Do we still have desperation dice?
Yeah. Well, the desperation it's a track, and so you're at 2, and so as long as you're doing, I should update that. So as long as you're doing something that's part of your creed, then you can use it. So what's your creed field?
I'm like, it's underground.
But what is like? There's a field. Like, look on your character sheet on the other tab.
Let's see.
So, underground stealth and subterfuge in service of the hunt. So kind of like what Quixote was just doing, like sneaking about and stuff. That would
Got
probably
it.
be more what you were looking to do. This sounds more like an inquisitive thing, maybe, because it's like research, maybe.
Yeah, that's
So,
mine.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll it though. Okay.
Damn, 3.
You don't really get anything. So what I usually do is you know how it is. Like it's 3. It's not. You don't really get a very good clear pick of anything. But you do know probably nearby, kind of in the direction it ran, like as it was climbing up one of the sides of these buildings. Like you probably have like. You can probably tap into some sort of grainy footage. It looks almost like a shadow, though. There's really, it's really just enough to confirm that it got up and ran through it. It doesn't really give you anything to go on, but it does seem to move. It does reinforce the fact that it moves really quickly. It's very agile, it seems. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Like Elaine's like talking to Maria. She's like laying in bed and she's like, this camera's like a mile away, and at this counter it's like at 3:00, and then suddenly at this counter it's 3:01. That's a whole fucking mile.
Perfect.
Just so fast. I don't know. I really wish Katya was calling me back because maybe she'd have some information on this, but I don't know what's up. Maybe tomorrow.
You want some more pain meds? Better fucking knock out. Just sleep it off.
No, at all. I'll just deal.
Rust, by the way, spends part of the night walking over to St. Mary's Basilica, where he's going to crash out on the steps waiting for his contact, Sister LeBlanc, to come in the morning so he can quiz her on some things.
Okay. All right, so we'll say then that night passes, morning comes. We'll touch in with everybody at this point. So... Alvin, you had a very rough evening. You probably slept on the couch. Probably have to do like 100 mea culpas in the morning, make some pancakes for your daughter, as it's a very icy apartment or home. Where do you live in an apartment or do you live in a house?
I have a small home.
Okay, small house. But morning does come. It's summertime. So there's no school for your daughter. What would Celie be doing during the day?
She'd either like be practicing maybe piano.
Okay.
Send her to like a class maybe.
Okay, so she has like piano lessons for today. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Sia heads off to work, I'm sure. Okay. And so you're left to your own devices at a certain point. We don't have to worry about the exact time. What would Alvin be doing this morning?
I would be tapping into my perk here.
Okay.
I've got library edge roll, something.
Okay.
Let me see what it is.
It should be, I think it's academics plus, I want to say resolve, I think, for library.
So it's who they are. It's pretty much, I spend roughly a day researching the prey, so I want to get any information I can on what we saw last night.
So you're gonna lock up, you're gonna kind of spend most of the day today just kind of going through everything that you can learn. All right, go ahead and make that roll. I think does it have the difficulty? I could have sworn the difficulty.
It doesn't say difficulty, it just says it scales with how many wins.
Storyteller decides on the nature and specificity of the clue, scale with the margin of the win. All right, go ahead and roll, and we'll see how well you do. And depending on, I'll just treat it as the better you do, the more specific the clue type of thing. Okay, 2.
That's 2.
All right. And what does it look like when Alvin starts doing research? Like, do you go somewhere? Do you is there like a library you hit? Is there a specific office you work out of? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, first I'll go into an office on a unmarked, pretty much computer, just has basic connection to the internet. I'll go onto
at your home? Is that your home?
Yeah, no. Okay. Just like websites, maybe some like supernatural websites that sort of like do storytelling.
Okay. Get in the dark
like
web.
Myths. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Get your Tor browser up and running. All right. Sure. 2 successes. Okay. So as you start like putting in various various strings, right? Like there's things you're looking for here and there. You're looking for. I mean, it almost looks like a mummy at times. You look that up. You don't really, nothing. Like you do get some stuff when it comes to that, like undead, etc., etc. But a lot of that sort of is conflicting with like the movement of it. Like it was just moving so fast, it doesn't seem to line up. At a certain point, though, like it's probably getting extraordinarily frustrating as you're not able to any of your kind of hunter network contacts that you might have, or other places, whoever you might look into or something like that, random forums. But there is one thing that kind of catches your attention, and it's not the most reliable source in the world, but it is a source that hunters probably are going to tap into from time to time because there's kernels of truth. You do pick up a tabloid story about about an alien taking human eyeballs, and like so there's like pictures of like victims without eyes, very similar to what you saw with Brock, and it's just like aliens taking aliens gathering human eyeballs for hive mind, something like that. And you can see like there's like this picture of a woman, doesn't have a name, eyes are missing, and there's another, you can't tell if the photos are right, but it's a cover of a tabloid. However, it's not Arizona. Like it seems to references Nashville, like Tennessee. So it's nowhere near here, but it's the same. It looks very similar to the way that Brock in that security guard looked like. So and this takes up most of your day. Like, okay, not all of it. We'll say like night comes, you can kind of catch, and you can keep in touch with people throughout the day if you want. But that's taking up a lot of your day. Maria and Elaine, what would you two be doing?
So one thing that Maria wants to do, Maria wants to reach out to her younger sister Evie.
Mm-hmm.
Who I've now decided is a person who might go to kind of clubs or somewhere that you might have that stamp, the hand stamp.
Okay. That's
So
convenient. No, that's fine. It's cool. I like that.
And I'm thinking that I don't know that is the particular area that she would go to. So I'm kind of like, she's the only person that I know that even remotely kind of does that kind of a thing, but I'm not necessarily thinking like, oh yeah, that's the area. Like I'm picturing her a little more
Okay.
like,
All right.
Scottsdale is kind of more her scene than Phoenix,
Yeah.
but just in an off shot to see if maybe she's
Okay.
to something similar.
So
I'm okay
Do you
if you
have-
make it difficult.
do you get on the phone with her, or do you
Yeah,
go
I'll
see
call
her? Okay. So you call her. It's early in the morning, and you can tell like when she answers the phone, unlike Katya, but you can tell she's in a rush. Like she's like impatient. She's like, I don't have a lot of time now, Maria. I gotta get going. I gotta get to work. We've got new clients. It's been real challenging, let's say. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if you've ever dealt with the city, but it's not like they can keep their finances in order. This is absolute. And then she kind of goes off on a tangent for about 15 minutes where she just kind of constantly complains about
And
like
Ray's
her
like,
clients,
uh,
and she's just not letting you get in. So anyway, we should do dinner sometime. All right. So I
yeah,
gotta go.
hey, before you go,
Yeah.
got a quick question for you. Have you when you're ever going out Thursday, Fridays, you ever go somewhere that's got a FRVR stamp, got like a flame?
Fervor? You think I would go to a place like Fervor? Like
I
Are
didn't
you
even
kidding
know
me?
it was called Fervor. So what?
No.
What is it?
It is a very nasty club for ne'er-do-wells. No, thank you.
Good.
I
Good
prefer
to know.
going places where there's lights on and you can see things. Thank you. I've heard about that place though. It is that is not really my scene. I don't think it's going to be your scene either. I don't think the blue collar gal is going to do well there.
Oh no, I definitely. I'm glad you don't go. It was kind of like I heard some weird stuff about it. Just kind of wanted to make sure that wasn't somewhere you were.
Are you trying to get drugs or something? Is that what's going on? There's plenty of other ways to get drugs, Maria. I know you're not used to that. All you do is you're smoking. Nicotine isn't a drug, okay?
Yeah,
it's legal here now.
Whatever.
I can get you. You know, you don't need a card anymore. You can just go right up to a place now.
Yep, I know. I can. You know, it sounds like you got a really busy day going on.
It's absolutely
Glad you don't.
crazy. There is so much money moving around in this city right now, and it is just. I don't even know where it comes from sometimes. It's absolutely insane. So, anyhow,
who
don't
did
go
you
to that
say you were meeting
place.
with?
Oh,
The
I
city
have.
And who else?
I have new clients. I can't tell you about the names of the companies. Everything's confidential. Don't be ridiculous.
Evie, I don't know how many.
Do you
times
tell
I
me
say
about
I'm a
your
plumber.
clients
I don't
for
care.
toilets and stuff?
I mean, I don't care. I'll tell you.
I don't really want to hear about the shit
I
that you
didn't
take
think you
out
did.
literally of people. So, you know, why do you always have to fight with me?
Well, I wasn't fighting you, but you know, have a good day.
Okay, well, that's fine, but don't go to that place, okay? I don't want to have to put you in drug rehab or something. Thank you, okay? All right, bye, love you. Click.
Typical Evie.
Jeff has sisters, you can tell.
I have 2 older sisters, so like, I mean, it's much less cordial than that was. Okay. Elaine, was there anything you were going to be doing?
Just like my normal day. She'll like look at Elaine and just like motion it next door, and she's gonna go check on him, see how he's doing.
Okay.
Because he did bump his head yesterday.
Yeah, you get over and you can tell, first of all, that he is not there as the door is wide open.
Oh shit. She's gonna go check the house and see if like there's a note or anything.
Yeah, you go moving about, and we'll say it's like mid to late morning, you know, something like that. Because you guys were up really late, so we'll say it's like mid to late morning.
And Elaine sleeps kind of late.
11 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're moving about, and you can first of all you notice that the stove is on, and looks like he was making breakfast, and breakfast is still going.
Yeah, so she'll turn that off.
Yep. And you look around. There's no note. Nothing. You can see the refrigerator is open. It's looked like he was trying to make an omelet, and there's like some stuff that's been cut up. Like he had dropped the eggs at one point into the pan, but they are just gone full crisp and gross at this point from being on. So you can tell this has been on for maybe a couple hours. And there's been looks like he was cutting up some things, onions, peppers, that kind of stuff that's sitting on a cutting board nearby, but never moved them into the pan. And the refrigerator is open, and you have to like knock the smoke detector off because like it's smoking up from the frying pan. But you look around, you don't find him anywhere. His bed's not made. You can tell he got up at some point. TV's on. It's like the local
She's
news
not going to
station.
jump immediately to like. So this has happened before, I presume. So she's
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's we've talked about it. He's early onset dementia is I think what we settled on. So yeah, this is a guy who's going to need assistance at some point.
So she calls up his son, Steven.
Okay, Steven.
And, yeah.
Oh, so he's totally an asshole then, is what you're telling me.
I mean, I told you he's mean. He doesn't take care of his dad.
I hope Steven's not watching right now. He's going to feel so hurt. Okay. All right. Okay. Would they have your number? Or is this like from a common phone? Like would be the type of thing where you communicate enough where they would know your number if they have it on the phone?
I think they would know. Yeah. Like they have me like just saved as like because I'm enough of a pest. They enjoy getting a call?
No,
from you? They think I'm too involved with their dad.
Okay.
And like I'm overstepping.
Okay. And they pick up. What do you want?
Your father is missing.
What do you mean my father is missing?
His front door is open. He was in the middle making breakfast, and I don't know where he is.
said, that's it. We're putting him in a home. Enough of this. Did you call the cops?
I'm about to, but you'd think you'd fucking care about your father.
Well, maybe call the cops and yeah, I'll come. Okay? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Phone hangs
and
up.
She hangs up and she'll
Okay.
call the cops. Yeah.
All right. All right. Quixote, you were waiting around in the morning for your contact to show up, Sister LeBlanc. Okay. So she'll show up. Like, what can you tell us? Like, what does she look like? What is, anything like that?
Sister LeBlanc is probably in her mid-50s. She's a stern, fit woman because she spent most of her life working as part of the Society of St. Leopold, within the Vatican, and is basically retired from active monster hunting, but has been placed here in the area because of an uptick in the supernatural in the Southwest U.S. She was the woman that essentially helped exorcise whatever it was that was in Quixote Rust, and is so she's his 3-point advantage contact.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, she's she's got kind of a coffee-colored skin and iron gray hair, and basically looks like she would spit in the devil's face. Extremely terrifying human being.
Okay. We'll say you wake up with a pointy boot in your back as you're sleeping out front of the church.
Oh yeah.
And she'll poke you in the boot, in the back with her pointy boot, and she would say, "This is not a Ramada. And wake up. What do you want? What are you here for?"
Sister, I gotta talk to you. There's some things going on. I don't know. I gotta talk. The war's going badly, sister.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. Pardon the joke here.
That's why I'm here. You're one of the few people I trust, and you know this stuff.
All right. Okay. Not here. Come on. Let's go for a walk. And she
All right, sister.
loops this surprisingly muscular old woman strength arm in through yours, and she just starts to tug you away as you start kind of wandering around the grounds a bit away from other eyes. What is it? What did you see? What do you need?
Sister, last night me and the other soldiers in my squad, we were patrolling looking for another friend of mine. He was a manager of the homeless shelter I stay at sometimes. He got there was a creature, I don't know, a demon. It wasn't like anything you've ever told me about before. It was covered in bandages, and it had dozens of eyes, and they kept moving all over its body. And when we scared it, and it moved like lightning. It was 3 times as fast as a human being, and could skitter up the sides of buildings, and its eyes moved everywhere. But the scary part, sister, is it was stealing people's eyes. It stole my friend's eyes. It's not like they left holes. It's not like it plucked them out. It touched their faces, and it was like their eyes were never there. And if that ain't disturbing enough, we took up my friend to the hospital, and there was a private security company there collecting these people without eyes, trying to take them covertly to see some doctor. They tried to take me. They tried to put me in their security car when they made a stink about it. But there's something else going on, sister. I need help. I need guidance. I tried. I called on the divine through these brands that formed on my body when you helped me, and it finally worked. But this thing it just pushed past me.
Chica lets out this long breath. Quick time out. Lost Caravan RPG, thank you for the raid. Very much appreciate that. So, Sister LeBlanc lets out this long breath. Okay, all right. Calm down, breathe, stay focused. First of all, it might be demonic.
It might be, it might not be. But you know, and I know, that the world is filled with creatures with evil from a variety of places. And if your gift didn't work on it, that might tell you something. Maybe it's not of an origin that you think. Now, you talk about it taking people's eyes. It's very peculiar. You're sure about this?
I'm sure. My friend, we found it over a security guard, and it had taken his eyes. And I mean, it had dozens of eyes all over it, all up and down its arms and all over its body, and they kept changing position. The other soldier in my squad he's a great martial artist, and he was fighting this thing, and every time he tried to hit it, an eye just moved out of the way. And then when we found my friend in the alleyway getting beat up by some drug addicts, he didn't have eyes either. It was just like they were never there, like he was born without them. I gotta hunt this thing, sister. I gotta make it pay for what it's done to Brock.
You're right. You do. This isn't the first time I've heard of this. This is now the second time, in the same manner of days. One of our parishioners, poor man, older fella, name was Wes Landon. He said that his son was attacked in the same manner, and someone wrenched one of his eyes out. Just one, though, not both. Apparently, it was interrupted or something, and he's been praying in the church ever since. But his son has been having horrible dreams since. First night, and I've already gotten a call from Mr. Landon. It happened again last night. They can't seem to wake his son up when it happens. He described how he felt like he was seeing through someone or something, and how it was him and his dreams that were attacking other people. He was stalking them in the dark, and he was hurting them. I'll be honest, I thought maybe his son was just disturbed, and that some of the story was made up. He uses, unfortunately, it's neither here nor there. But he described going to a cemetery, and he said he hurt a woman. He hurt a woman very, very badly. And his father couldn't wake him up, though there were signs that he was disturbed. And the poor kid also said it was just quiet, like he couldn't hear anything at all, like everything was quiet, but he could see so much. Maybe this is the creature.
Do you think, sister, that the victims are still connected to this creature, that they're seeing through their own eyes that it's stolen?
Maybe. I can't think of anything like this that's ever happened before in this society. But there are far more creatures out there that we don't know about than those we do. Where was your friend attacked last night?
He was over by the train yard. He was looking for another homeless person, a woman named Shelby. I don't think she made it, but He was over by the train yard. That's where we cornered the thing. It was when it was attacking the security guard. So I think it attacked Brock and then went after the security guard shortly after. Because his car was right there at the train yard.
Interesting. And you see she kind of goes through her robes a bit and she pulls out a phone. And you see she everyone's got flip phones in Phoenix, I've decided. Flips open the phone. Dials a number. Puts it on speaker. You hear a very tired man. Hello? Sister LeBlanc is... He woke up, but he's just been... He won't eat. He's confused. And you hear like the sister like, I know, Wes, I know. Listen, you're on speaker with a colleague of mine. We're gonna help you and your boy. Don't worry. Now, did he tell you about what he saw in his dreams last night? And you hear the man kind of come on the phone at that point. He's like, yeah. He said he was lurking about downtown. He recognized some of the places. And he said he was in a train yard at one point, and he attacked a man that was coming out of a shack, and then he attacked another man that was a security guard. Yeah, it was with I think there was a dog, and then he says it got strange that he just started to flee and run away, and then he woke up in the middle of the night screaming, confused, and it took us an hour or 2 hours to get him back down, and then he started having it again. And she's like, okay, all right, well, that's very, very helpful. I'm gonna call you back. And like, okay, sister. So kind of hangs up the phone. She looks to you and she says, does that sound anything like what happened?
That's exactly what happened, sister. That's exactly what happened. It was running from us. We were, after we attacked it, it fled.
So it seems, though, it takes these people's eyes, and then somehow it stays connected to them. Maybe there's a way we can use this to our benefit. I don't know how yet, but maybe.
And I think we'll end there. We'll end right there tonight. We're a little past time. Picked up a nice little lead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Very interesting. And I got stabbed.
Yeah.
Jeff's like, he pulls out a knife and you're like, I'm turning around. And I'm like, Melissa, what are you doing?
I like how I was like, I'm going to logically persuade these like PCP out tweakers who are attacking a guy. I'm going to logically listen, don't you want to do something more with your lives? Like, really? Is
no, that's not at all.
I think.
Have you recently heard the word?
Do you have a moment to talk about? Oh, so good. Okay. Shall we do questions? Let's do our XP questions.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we're going to do these XP questions. So at the end of every session, we answer some questions, and that determines how many XP they get, etc. Participation, you all get one for that. Did you perform something remarkable during the session? I would say that Alvin's ridiculous role.
Yeah, that was fucking cool.
That was unbelievable.
Anyone else want to make a case for something or for someone? Something
Quixote kind of solo mission.
Hospital.
And breaking free.
And running away from the security guards. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. Anything else we think remarkable? Okay. Use a skill, edge, or other trait in a clever or critical way. You want to make a case? I think Maria, bullshitter. You did your bullshitter pretty well.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you can take it for that. Let's see. What else?
rolling through the rolls. To see.
I mean, Quixote talking to Sister LeBlanc here at the end. That's a 3-point edge. That's an edge contact. So that's a trade.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the same manner, Alvin used his library edge to get some info as well as alien eye stuff. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I failed my edge. I didn't pass it.
Yeah. Tell me something important you all learned. What's something important your character learned this session?
Well, we did learn that the creatures, the eyes it steals, are still linked back to the victims, and they dream what it sees.
Yeah,
that's pretty important.
We learned that this thing.
We also learned that there's
in Tennessee at some point. So
you learned that. Yeah, you learned something similar happened in Tennessee. Yeah.
And that there's a doctor with a private security force that is very interested in grabbing all of the victims. So that's something we need to look into. And that possibly there's a nightclub that's force-feeding people crazy drugs.
Yeah, that's enough for one for everybody then. Yeah, okay. So we're going to take a point for that one.
Round or something.
We did not conclude the story, so so no extra bonus points there. So everyone, I think it sounds like everyone got 3 to 4. It sounds like somewhere in that range.
I think I got 2. Yeah.
You got 2. Okay. Well, you got participation, and you got tell me something important your character learned. Yep. Did you perform anything remarkable?
No, I don't
Ashley,
think I did.
you got I think you're remarkable, but the game just doesn't. I'm sorry, and we just got to play it where it lies. Okay. All right. All right, let's do close books. Aaron, why don't you tell us what do you got going on in Garblag coming up in the next week?
Okay, over on Garblag on Tuesday, they're playing Alien, World of Darkness. That'll be at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. Wednesday, there is no Warhammer Wednesday this week because Jim is on holidays, so we're taking a 1-week break. Then on Thursday, I think Pete is going to run a dev stream at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time because Cyberpunk Red wrapped up and they're not getting ready. They'll take a break before Heroic Deeds start. And then Thursday night, I think we're going to Egypt for some Octoon Cthulhu, if I'm right on that.
I believe that's correct. Yeah.
I believe that is correct.
That I think it's true. I think we are back for next week. We have a couple scattered time offs, I think it is, but I think we're starting up Octoon Cthulhu next week.
And then Friday is the actual finale of our season 1 of Monster of the Week at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we all get murdered.
They were doing Monster of the Week today, I think, too, right?
Yeah, it was the first part of the season finale, and in the second part of the season finale, Pat and I'll join in so we can kill one another.
Perfect.
But she's a monster lover and I'm a monster hater, so it's gonna go bad one way or the other. So
yeah. Let's see then for us. Let's see. You can catch the rest. Everyone here but Aaron tomorrow. We're gonna be doing some Wondering tomorrow afternoon. So come check that out. Tomorrow night I'll be over on Grim and Perilous Plays running some Heart, The City Beneath. Monday we should be back for more Holler right here. And that's it. And don't forget that this is an every other week game. So next Friday, we're going to be doing some Mothership. Friday after that, we'll be back to Hunter. And we kind of alternate between the two. It's a shame. I wish I could play like every game. Like
I know.
Because I really like playing this. But I also really like playing Mothership. So it's like I want to play all of it.
So many games.
But thank you for those of you who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who gave us a raid. That was Lost Caravan RPG. Appreciate that. Thank you for those who threw out bits. If you're watching this later on VOD or on YouTube, we really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And go play Hunter. It's really fun. It's a really cool system.
It is very fun.
A lot of fun.
I'm really enjoying it so far. So we're going to raid someone. Not a lot of our usual raid targets are actually on tonight because it looks like both Chuck and Bert are not running. So
got a little Vampire the Masquerade action.
On where's that?
TTRP Theater.
That's what we'll do then. That's perfect actually. TTRP Theater. So follow the raid and we'll get more World of Darkness stuff. There we go. Thanks for everyone who hung out, and we're going to put on the end screen while the raid warms up, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.